I've been a part of the beginning of this story of Extinction Rebellion in Brazil, and actually the translation is not that that easy. Extinção Rebelião doesn't work really well, but what is happening for the last years in Brazil is actually that we are facing a democratic crisis, okay, that is really important to consider. This democratic crisis began during with the election of Lula's, actually, because it broke like decades of another kind of approach on economics, and Lula was elected mainly for como que é? Reforma agrária? Agrarian reform, and setting human rights, and he did a lot of projects that worked well in some points of view and not well in others. But the reaction of the agribusiness, the reaction of the big landowners and everything, and of the industry was so violent. They felt attacked, and they occupied the National Congress with a lot of far rights and extreme capitalistic, libertarian, I don't know, liberal, and they managed to force that Workers' Party government to a dialogue, and that dialogue was through economy, of course. And then Lula was re-elected with this soybean speech on biofuels, and then Dilma was elected with this weird speech on water electricity, like the electric dams. Yeah. And they were trying to do something that we call governmentability. Yeah. They were really pressured. And they were trying to manage it, the governmentability. But that governmentability ate them, because we have the coup d'etat. And during this process, every social movement was attacked. In Brazil now we have a discourse, speech against human rights. They say human rights is only for, como é que é? Direitos humanos é só para bandido. It's only for criminals. They say human rights is only for criminals. Feminists are witches. Indians are terrorists. They have and they managed to put that speech into the news and into a kind of culture. And we saw thousands of people demanding the impeachment of Dilma, dressed in yellow and green soccer team shirts and with pants. And those people throw out that government that was considered a little more socialist, and they have elected Bolsonaro. And the president they had elected, because I didn't vote for him, has already ripped off like a half of the work rights. And he has rid of the whole institutions for human rights, culture, gender issues, racism, cultural diversity, So, and all the social movements went in crisis. We have been invaded. We have been set against each other the whole time. And we are struggling to connect and reconnect because it's so violent. Brazil is the country in the world that kills the most of transsexuals. It's one of the most, we have high taxes of feminicides. We speak of the genocide of the black youth. We are one of the killings of the indigenous and the environmental defenders, activists. Yes. So we are facing that kind of struggle in our homes, and it has been really difficult to dialogue with other movements in the world. It has been really difficult.